It doesn't matter. I mean, like the NFL, if we'll start there at the owners' meetings, the hip tackle rule is an interesting one. You know, I know we saw Pollard get hurt in the 49er playoff game. I believe it was Jimmy Ward who was tackling him that way. And then you had...
Tony Pollard, Cowboys.
Yes.
Running back, former Cowboy running back.
Would he snap his ankle?
Yep.
Or at least a minimum high ankle sprain. You saw Mark Andrews go down earlier this year. I understand that they're trying to implement rules for safety, and I get all that. It's just so difficult to play defense now. The game's already very, very difficult to play defense, and I personally don't believe people when they're trying to wrap a Travis Kelce, a Mark Andrews, who's typically bigger than most of the guys trying to tackle them. I don't think people are maliciously trying to injure them. I just think it's a really tough rule.
I saw a tweet from Pro Football Focus or Pro Football Talk, our boy Mike Florio over the weekend, where apparently the league office is a little concerned about scoring. Scoring was down overall last season. I think it was down like 4 points per game, down from maybe 49 to 45. I could be wrong, but the scoring was down. And basically, they're trying to get a way to get the scoring back up, and it's like, what else can a defense do? Every time the defense adjusts, it starts to slow things down. You want to cater the rules towards the offense. Like, we don't need 35 games every single week. We don't need 41, 37 games every single week. It's okay to play a little defense. It's okay to have a hard-hitting football game like the Super Bowl where it was low scoring for the most part. You don't need all these high fireworks. So it's like you're trying to compromise and cripple the defense once again with some more rule changes, cater towards the offense. I don't get that.
So you're in agreement with me. It's interesting because, like, I do believe all of the rule changes have slanted toward the offense. And I get it with fantasy football. And to your point, like, people want to see points. We do. You know, I do believe that we do. But, like, on the defensive element, like, you've already got an automatic, if you touch someone downfield and you hold them, it could be 3rd and 1,000, automatic first down.
Yeah.
You know, how many times does a quarterback questionably get sacked in the pocket and we're rewarding the offense, even though maybe the possession's going to end and they're going to punt? Like, I just, man, all these sideline plays where quarterbacks can kind of juke a fake, like they're going to go out of bounds and stay inbounds, and a guy blasts somebody right along the sideline, and boom, here's a 15-yard play. That ended up deciding, you know, Cincinnati Bengals versus Kansas City a couple of years ago in the AFC Championship game. So I understand why they're doing it. I get the veil of player safety. I just, man, how do you even teach? I would love to hear from a youth high school coach. How do you even teach tackling now when you're a DB trying to tackle Gronk, Kittle, one of these huge tight ends? It's very difficult.
It's going to result into more leg injuries, more lower body injuries, because guys are going to be going below the belt, trying to get these guys down, maybe hitting guys in the shin. I don't know what you do. Do you want to drop your head and miss a tackle? It's just going to be nasty here. But when you talk about rule changes and pass interferences and defensive holdings, I've always wanted the college pass interference in the NFL game, unless the play was egregious. I've always wanted a 15-yard pass interference penalty because there's a lot of ticky-tack pass interference penalties. Make it 15 yards, make the offense work. Now, unless it's egregious and it's just sure like, oh, he's wide open, you yanked him down, you tackled him, you really impeded his progress towards the football, then you give him the spot foul on pass interference. Other than that, I want the 15-yard pass interference in college football, and then the defensive holdings, I don't want automatic first downs, especially if it's 3rd and a gazillion, and you give a 5-yard penalty and automatic first down. I don't like those rules. I never liked those rules. So pass interference, I would love for it. Nobody's ever proposed it, but I wanted it to be a 15-yard college penalty, and then if it's egregious down the field, and you go to the booth, you go to a judge, say, okay, that's a spot foul right there. You can differentiate the egregious one to the 15-yard penalty.
No, I like where you're going with this one. Like, would it be similar to because I consider the flagrant, are you trying to make a play on the ball? Right, in the NBA. Like, when you're not trying to make a play on the ball, to me, that's a more egregious flagrant. Wouldn't you agree? Mm-hmm. When I look at these, like, plays with these DBs and whatnot, I do feel like there are degrees of defensive pass interference. You grab somebody by the hip. I think it was Ambry Thomas grabbed somebody by the hip. The guy had him beat and it was going to be a touchdown. Right. And he just grabbed his hips with 2 hands around the hips. To me, that's throw it on the spot. Right. But if two guys are jarring, you trip and fall and you accidentally tackle the guy, yeah, that should be a 15-yarder. I'm kind of with you on that one. I would like to see that one. It's just, I don't know who's clamoring for taking away the hip tackle. I don't see how it's some egregious thing. I understand you lost 2 players. You're going to lose guys because of injuries.
Yeah, I don't know. Now guys are going to be tackling high. You're going to miss tackles, arm tackling. Pardon me. I'm very eager to see. I didn't even know it was a big deal in the league. I didn't know they were going to bring this up at the owners meeting or the coaches committee meeting, whatever they're calling it in Orlando here, where all the coaches and GMs meet once again for the league meetings. And you see the head coaching team photo with Shanahan and McVay. Those are always fun, but I didn't know it was a big deal about the hip tackle, so now it is a big deal. And then I guess there's a new kickoff rule. Spadoni, do you know about the new kickoff rule if you can?
Yeah, so they just announced that. I'm looking into it right now. So 10 members of the kicking team will line up on the receiving team's 40-yard line. So they have these like different things called zones now. So bear with me because
it's like icing.
Well, it's weird. So they have
I'm teasing.
So from the goal line to the 20-yard line is the landing zone, and then they have from the 30 to the 40. Between that is the setup zone and then the kickoff start line, obviously. So there's this weird... Yeah.
So they have to be in certain areas. Correct. Certain amount of players have to be in certain areas, basically, on the kickoff.
Correct. And I guess kicking it through the uprights, they're trying to like make it like kicking out of the end zone. They're trying to not allow that to happen because they want more action now. So at first, they didn't want as much action because it basically turned into a dead play. Right. Like it's just ceremonial, if anything, the kickoff, right? Unless you're the Niners and unless you're the Niners and Jake Moody. But for the most part, they're just kicking it out of the end zone, and people are like, "Well, what's the point of this?" Because there's no kickoff returns. They want more scoring.
So, are they going to move back to kickoff?
I'm going to get to that in a second. Right. Let me, because Albert Breed just reported, and many others, that they did pass the new kickoff rule. Obviously, the owners' meeting.
So let's figure it out.
The one rule that I thought was actually an interesting suggestion. It did not get even put on the, I believe, on the for vote. But instead of doing the onside kick, because the onside kick is such a low percentage play, I'm going real data with you right here. I like the 4th and 15 play.
Oh, instead of doing the onside kick, do 4th and 15.
I kind of like that one. And
yeah, that's interesting. Don't they do that in the USFL or the XFL?
Well, yeah, they stole it from some other league. I don't know which one. B, you probably know better than I. But when I heard that one, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of in on that one.
Yeah, no, They tried to propose this, I think, a couple years ago. If I'm not mistaken,
I think Belichick was at it.
This has been in the loop for whoever. I'm not sure which coach brought it up to anybody's attention, but I remember it being a thing. 4th and 15, 4th and 20, or something from the 20-yard line. You convert that, you get the ball. Because you got more of a chance to do that, to complete a 4th and 15, than the onside kick these days. The onside kick is really impossible to recover. It's kind of become the extra point of old, where it was automatic, where if a guy missed, you're like, wait, what? A guy missed? Like the last time I remember a missed extra point from the 3-yard line was when the Saints had that crazy play in Jacksonville where they lateraled the ball all around, and then John Carney comes in and missed the extra point. Right. They go to overtime. Remember that? Jim Haslett was the coach. Wow. Now, I'm sure there was other missed extra points there, but that became just a dead play. Now, the outside kick becomes a dead play to me. Like, you just have no shot.
None.
You have no shot. It's random. How many outside kicks have been recovered in the last 3 years, 4 years?
Your guess is as good as mine. The only one that I can think of in the history of the 49ers that has been absolutely devastating is the one in the playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. 1971 or 72, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Can you think of any devastating? And that's, we're going back 50-something years.
I know. I broke my remote when that happened, man. I couldn't believe it.
There are no remotes back then. You had to get up and there were voice activated remotes, as in your child had to get up and turn the channel for you.
You had to use it you needed pliers to change the channel, or TVs were busted or
seriously.
Whatnot. No, the onside kick never happens. I would love that 4th to 15 from whatever, the 30, the 35, the 20, whatever the case may be. Go ahead, Spinoza. You got more?
So I was getting to the goal line part. So this new kickoff rule. So I guess this is the XFL. They've had this, but I don't know how many of you guys have been watching the XFL like me. Probably not much of that. So this is the one for me that's interesting.
I'm a diehard.
If the ball is kicked and enters the end zone in the air, so if you catch it and you're in the end zone, you can down it there, and you start at the 35 now, not the 25.
So really?
Yes.
So now you want to not pooch it, but you want to be able to place it almost like golf.
So they're forcing kickers not to kick it out of the end zone.
I kind of like that.
So it's to Bill Belichick. What Bill Belichick and the Patriots used to do, they would pooch it up and make a return team catch it with inside the 10-yard line. And you couldn't let it drop because you may risk a fumble. You couldn't fair catch it because you fair catch it at the 7. You're taking it. That is very so now the 35. So now you only need 30 yards or you're a field goal range. Just like that. So now scoring will be up. Scoring is guaranteed to be up now. If kickers kick it out of the end zone.
Spadoni, this is like a math problem that looks like you're looking at.
They explain it in a graph, and if you go, because there's no audio, so it's all visual that I'm reading off this, so I'm trying to convey it the best way I can.
And it just got released, huh?
Correct.
So I'm looking at it now. Yeah, the landing zone, the setup zone, the kickoff start line. This is wild.
I know, it sounds like a military operation. Yeah, it's just kickoff.
They're making football so much more complicated. It doesn't have to be.
I'm getting a lot of texts from the OG Niner fans. Rob McDonough out there. Preston Riley fumbled on the side against Dallas, number 85. Preston Riley. You bring that name up to the OGs and they go crazy.
Oh man, Preston Riley. He does not eat for free in the Bay Area. Tyler in Oakley. What's happening, man? He's got something on the hip drop tackle rule. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, good morning, gents. Hope you're doing well this morning. So I get why they want to do it, right, for the safety or whatever, but when they changed the hit zone, right, DBs had to start going low on guys, right?
Yep.
And now you're seeing guys' knees get destroyed and all that. And I don't know if you guys saw it when the Rams played the Lions when that DB hit.
Yep.
Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
And Stafford ran up to him and called him dirty.
Oh, Tyler Higbee.
He had the mic or whatever.
Yep.
And the DB was like, bro, where else do you want me to hit? Like, I can't hit anywhere else. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like, my 7-year-old wants to play football, and I'm like, bro, we're putting you on offense because defense is way too hard to play.
It's so hard.
And just real quick, Bonte, my family and I went to the Hornets-Warriors game last month. The Wounded Warrior Project took us and all that.
Oh, nice.
And we were hanging out front the pregame, and you had walked out because you were doing the pregame show. And my 7-year-old knows everybody affiliated with the Warriors. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. And he saw you come out, and he's like, oh, that's Bonte Hill. And you heard him, and you came over, and you said what's up to him and whatever. And I just wanted to tell you thanks. That made my 7-year-old super ecstatic, man. Like, you didn't have to do that. You were probably running to the bathroom or whatever on your break from TV. So I just wanted to tell you thanks and all that. And I love the show, guys. Joe, Mr. Shasky, I've been listening to you since you were on the nighttime with Mr. Ryan Covey.
Thank you so much.
I love you guys.
What was your son's name, Tyler?
Yeah, thanks,
what was your son's
Have a
name?
good one.
What was your son's name?
Jackson.
Nice to meet him,
really
and
cool.
nice to meet you, man. Tyler, thank you for anytime, man. Anytime the kids are out there, you got to say what's up to them, man, because they show love, and you never know, man. Like, I was a kid, I never got to meet people in this role or whatnot. So, shout out to Tyler. Shout out to his son Jackson there, man. Vitaly said he almost said hi to me also. I try to say hi to everybody, man, because we're all human. We're all the same people. Like, we're just talking basketball.
He said Wounded Warrior Project, so it sounded like he served this country, and I just want to say thank you, Tyler.
Yep.
Thanks, anybody that gives us the ability to come on here and talk about onside kicks, and we get to have it's just, I don't know. I thank you for serving this country.
And thanks for bringing your kids around. Like, one thing about me, Fezzi, Bully, the whole crew at NBC, when the kids are out there in their jerseys and they say what's up and they're spitting game, I love talking to the kids, man. They're fun.